to the beautiful campus of Ashesi for the first time through the main entrance, the Founders Court. Before you are greeted by the several people in our amicable community, you are welcomed by a quote from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, forever engraved in the stainless glass opening. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it, so begin it now. Today, above all else, I, Bryan Achiampong, am honored and humbled to be the voice of a class filled with geniuses of sagacity, magicians of change, historians of their own legacies, and the leaders of Africa and of the world. I am honored to speak on behalf of the remarkable and outstanding class of 2018. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Nana Otain Kranchain II, Nana Num, President of Ashesi, Dr. Patrick Awa, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and our graduates, the class of 2018. Today, I am elated to welcome you all to the commencement of the 2018 Ashesi graduation ceremony. And we are thrilled that you decided to be here today to join us to celebrate this momentous occasion. Now, I want to tell you about my family. A family of artists with the meticulous strokes of Della Akolacha. A family of affectionate citizens with hearts as caring as a mini Kizita Tabika's. A family of creative minds, inventors such as Benedict Kwate. And a family of sportsmen with the skillfulness of Oweku Ampofo. We are a family of trendsetters with the swagger of Nanado. And a family with many stories to share. We have stories of strong women, heroines, such as our very own Teni Agana, who has dedicated several of her hours at her time in Ashesi to teaching math to underprivileged children in Burekuso. And we have stories of strong men, heroes such as Derek Omari, who founded Tech Era and is making a tremendous impact in connecting the visually impaired to today's technology, combating ICT illiteracy in Ghana while improving the lives of our citizens. And we have stories of leaders, such as our very own Kirk Caesar, popularly known as K for MVP, who has served as one of the best captains to ever lead the Ashesi basketball team. And we also have stories of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs such as Patient and Bless Ayipa, who founded the legendary Kenke Smoothie. And we have stories of entrepreneurs such as Jeremy Ento and Abigail Owusu Amwa, with their own AJ sandwiches. And not to forget, our very own favorite, Meat Empire. And so yes, class of 2018, we have come a long way. And today, individually and collectively, we tell a celebratory tale of our graduation. Ours is a tale of aspirations, struggles, joy, and triumph. Our first chapter was one of ambition, where it all started, freshman year. While our parents and guardians had the ambition to send us to Ashesi University College, where we would be trained to become the next generation of future leaders for Africa, we had ambitions of our own. Ambitions to study business administration, computer science, and management and information systems. Ambitions to form and be a part of clubs that would give us a platform to express ourselves. Ambitions to find our partners both in business and in life. And ambitions to form friendships that will last the test of time. But beyond all our ambitions, freshman year was a time of wild unpredictability, extreme levels of confusion, delightful beginnings, and a time of discovery. And as the years progressed, from first to second and from third to fourth, we learned more about Ashesi, more about ourselves, and more about our friends and classmates. We learned that focus, our great portal, was a very sensitive topic of discussion right after a test. We learned that you could develop all the study groups possible, but still feel ill-prepared for a managerial quiz. Because in the famous words of Makosa, it will come, but the form. And we learned not to wear a white shirt when taking the Brekuso taxi up the dusty hill, unless you intended to buy a brown one instead. We learned to be nocturnal, staying up till 1 a.m. using chairs for beds just to make our codes run. The pre-calculus nights, the design modeling prototypes, the breakups, and the makeups were all a part of our journey that made our chapters in Ashesi worthwhile. And in the pages of our story here, the most significant reminders that kept us pushing forward through each chapter were the bookmarks in between. The bookmarks of our family and our guardians who supported us through this journey. The bookmarks of all the staff and faculty at Ashesi, from the dean of students who always had an attentive ear and a word of advice, to our personal storytellers, Ebenezer and Michael, who captured us at our best and shared us with the world. And to all our staff and faculty at Ashesi, who went beyond their positions and became our friends, our mentors, our helpers, and our teachers. So to the Dr. Patrick Ewers, the Bukeleys, the Araba Butreys, the Dr. Senas, the Dr. Armers, the Dr. Corsers, the Kobe Grahams, and to all of Ashesi, we are grateful, and to you we say thank you. And now to the graduates, the class of 2018. I want to share a few stories of the accomplishments we made as a family. We hosted the best class party ever at Ashesi, a parody of the Ubora Excellence Awards titled Ubora, and in the same year, received the award for the most outstanding class on campus. We can also boast of having the best dance instructor ever to come to Ashesi, Jeremy Nto, who helped us to perform the most electrifying dance ever on this campus. Akwaba. And we had some very memorable moves from the likes of Michael Apawo. And also, the people you see here today have been the largest number of people to ever vouch for leadership positions on the Ashesi campus. Jessica and Sabello, Kezia and Kinsley, Caleb and Job. And we had a terrific year under the Just Mike administration. But above all our formidable achievements, our greatest accomplishment has been our spirit of unity. We lost a brother, Edward Mose, a moment that devastated us all. But in our sadness, we comforted each other. We shared all we could with his family, and we persevered to be here today, to finish the journey we started with him. So today, as we graduate here as a family, celebrating our accomplishments, we stand and we lift our cups to our brother. As we celebrate graduating with him. As the first class to graduate, with Ashesi University having officially received its presidential charter, it is not a question that we in this moment are nothing short of exceptional and nothing short of historic. But today, we start a new journey in our lives. And I want to take this opportunity to share a few words that will guide us through the chapters to come until the end of our pages. A message on choices and how to spend the coin of your life. Throughout the period of our lives, everything we are able to experience is as a result of our choices. There is only one part of our lives we do not decide, and I will demonstrate that moment to you with your assistance. Now I want everyone under the sound of my voice to reach into their wallet or purse and take out a single coin. I will give you a minute to do so. The coin can be of any value, but it can only be one. Thank you. And now, on the count of 3, I want you to gently flip the coin. 1, 2, 3. If you got the coat of arms, can I kindly see your right hand? Thank you. And now, if you got the other side of the coin, can I kindly see your left hand? Thank you. Now, what you just did, flipping your coin, is a perfect representation of the gamble of life. No one decides who or where they are born to. The coin you flip could have been of the highest value, of the lowest value, or just in the middle. But you do not decide whether the outcome is heads or tails. However, the beauty of life is that flip of the coin, the gamble of life, is the exact point where the luck to living ends, the exact point where we have the power to choose what our lives would mean to us and what our lives would mean to others. We may not choose how we came into this world, but we do choose how we decide to live in this world. Winston Churchill said, "History would be kind to me, for I intend to write it." And so today, as we make history in the Ashesi, I want you to ask yourself, what are you intending to write in the chapters of your story, in the legacy of your life, in the legacy of the world, and in the legacy of Africa? In the words of the great African leader and revolutionary Nelson Mandela, our choices should reflect our hopes and not our fears. There is nothing too big for possible in life. We only limit ourselves because we falsely believe that for us, impossible is right. But this thinking is wrong and detrimental to all our futures. It is not impossible for us to have a tarred road leading up to our university. It is not impossible for us to respect women and give them equal opportunities to men in our societies. It is not impossible for us to have an Africa free of corruption. And it is certainly not impossible for us to change the single story of Africa in the world. All we need to do is to believe we can and to choose to make a difference. As the Guru Yogananda said, change yourself and you would have done your part in changing the world. For choices would define our possibilities, and choices would define our limitations. So when we choose to make a difference in all we do, whether big or whether small, we would have chose to change the world. So today, as we finish a chapter in our lives, and as we graduate, and as we are celebrated, let us do what others won't, and so tomorrow we can do what others can't. For the heroes of tomorrow are those who chose to make a difference in today. And us being here, through the naysayers, through the trials, and through the tribulations, shows that we are nothing less than the saviors of our continent and the saviors of our world. But this journey we are on, it is not going to be an easy one. There would be times where we would be rejected. There would be times where we would fail. And there would be times where we would feel not good enough, as it appears the entire universe is against us. But in those same moments, when we choose not to fall but to stand, when we choose not to hide in the darkness but to be the beacon of hope that leads others out of despair, when we decide that the change we have been waiting for is the change that we would bring, our legacy would be the story of people who, in the face of adversity, in the face of hardship, and in the face of hopelessness, chose to make a difference in the history of Africa and in the history of the world. There would be no better tomorrow if we do not choose to create it today. For none of us are born winners, and none of us are born losers, but we are all born choosers of the legacies we leave behind. And as I conclude, I would leave you with a quote by the missionary Lillian Dickson. Life is like a coin. You can spend it on anything you wish, but you can only spend it once. So today I want you to take that very same coin that you flipped. But this time, I don't want you to flip it. I want you to spend it, and to spend it to the fullest. Spend your coin bringing hope to the hopeless. Spend your coin fighting for the right of those too weak to battle their oppressors. Spend your coin creating laughter and joy in the lives of others. And spend your coin chasing your dreams and finding out that impossibility is just not what it seems. And in the legacy of our lives, they would know that we were history makers who came onto this earth, told a story of greatness, and chose to make a difference in the story of the world. Let them say we lived, let them say we loved, and let them say we fought to make the world a better place and that we never gave up. And so I ask again, how do we change the world tomorrow? By choosing to change the world today. Long live Ashesi, and long live the class of 2018. Thank you.